Good morning and welcome to UroNurse News. I'm your host, Vic Senese. A new study published in the journal Science is challenging long-held beliefs about aging and how much control we really have over how long we live. According to this research, genes may influence human lifespan far more than previously believed. For decades, scientists estimate that genetics accounted for only about 20 to 25% of how long a person lives. Some studies even place that number below 10%. The prevailing belief that environment, things like infections, accidents, lifestyle, and access to healthcare play dominant roles. But this new research tells a very different story. Researchers from the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel analyzed decades of data from twin and sibling studies in the U.S. and Scandinavia. Using advanced mathematical modeling, they accounted for something earlier studies often overlooked: extrinsic causes of death, such as infectious disease outbreaks, fatal accidents that were far more common in past centuries. Now, once those factors are removed, the genetic signal becomes much clearer. Their conclusion: about 55% of human lifespan may be heritable, more than double previous estimates. Now, in other words, as modern medicine has reduced deaths from infection, trauma, and other external threats, the influence of our inherited DNA has become much more apparent. Yuri Alon, the senior author of the study and a system biologist at Weizmann, explains it this way: heritability is a statistic that applies to a particular population in a particular environment at a particular time. Pretty particular. As our environment changes, so does the weight of genetics. Today, most people in developed countries die from age-related diseases, things like cardiovascular disease, cancer, and neurodegenerative conditions. That shift, researchers say, allows genetic differences to play a much larger role in determining longevity. Importantly, the authors stressed that earlier studies weren't wrong. They were simply measuring lifespan in a very different world, a world where childhood infections, workplace accidents, and limited medical care dramatically shorten lives. When those noisy factors are stripped away, what remains is a clearer picture of intrinsic mortality, the aging process shaped by our genetics. I always tell patients you can't escape your ancestry. So why does this matter? According to experts writing in an accompanying science commentary, a stronger genetic influence on lifespan could accelerate efforts to identify longevity-related genes, improve polygenic risk scores, and uncover biological pathways that regulate aging, all of which could eventually inform drug development aimed at slowing age-related decline. The findings also raise broader questions. If genetics play such a large role, should people want to know what their DNA says about their potential lifespan? Would you be curious? Some companies already think so, including fertility and IVF startups claiming they can estimate longevity from embryo DNA. But even the researchers urge caution. Despite the higher genetic estimate, about half of the lifespan is still shaped by non-genetic factors, including lifestyle choices, socioeconomic conditions, and access to quality of healthcare. So just because you've got ancestors that live to be in their 90s or 100s, don't take up smoking. And there's something science can't fully control: pure randomness. Researchers call it biological stochasticity. There's a word. The unpredictable events that shape every human life. In fact, while working on this very study, a missile strike damaged the Weizmann Institute building where the researchers worked. Powerful reminder that external forces can still change everything instantly. So, what's the takeaway? Your genes do matter, perhaps far more than we even once believed, but they're not destiny. Choice still matters, environment still matters, and chance still plays its role. For UroNurse News, I'm Vic Senese. Hey, could AI spot bladder cancer from a simple urine test? Join me this Saturday on UroPatient as I dive into cutting-edge research on AI-powered urine tests and what they could mean for earlier, faster, and more accurate detection. For patients, caregivers, and clinicians alike, this episode explores the promise and the science behind the technology that could transform bladder cancer care. So tune in this Saturday at 10:30. You don't want to miss it at the UroPatient.com. Tomorrow, does getting a vasectomy increase your risk from prostate cancer? Join me as I separate fact from myth, dive into the latest research, and give men the truth about prostate health after vasectomy. You don't want to miss this one, folks. Tune in tomorrow and get the insights every man should know. And hope you're enjoying our testosterone-infused cowboy talk.
UroNurse News. Let's learn and share on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. Everywhere, 5 minutes of wisdom for healthcare workers everywhere. Bringing insight through the years.